Hey everyone, Martin here. It's been another one of them days, right? Another one of them days where you never know what's gonna happen and you find out all kinds of craziness, right? Um, Today was the first day that I actually stuck to my schedule. I stuck to the tightening up that I've been talking about the last few days, right? Getting up I actually got up a few minutes early today, like 4:20, 4:25. Got out of bed, got moving to be out of the house by 4:45 so I can get my morning workout in by 5:30. Got my guy to work at 5:30. Um, got the next guys to work by 6:15, 6:20, and then came home, got my reading in, got my picture in, got my second workout in by like 9 o'clock. I helped somebody else with something else right after or right before my workout. And so everything was structured, and I ate the way I was supposed to. I ate small portions a bunch of times today. And it was interesting just how much more time I had to be able to do other things today that I'm not able to focus on the way I want to, right? Wes Watson's always talking about higher frequencies and lower frequencies. And when we're not able to give 100% of our attention to the things that we're doing at the moment, we operate at a lower frequency because there's other things interfering with the moment that we're supposed to be having. So if I'm reading something and I can't stay in present in that text, then it doesn't do me no good to be reading because I have other thoughts running through my head that are distracting me from the things that I'm trying to do well, right? And so it was good to be able to know that my meals were set and I knew exactly when and what I was going to be eating. My workout time was done. It was crazy, right? By 10 o'clock this morning, 10:30, I was done. And I'm like, wow, now what do I do? Right? Because I'm not thinking the rest of the day. I still got to get a workout in. It was done, and that was an amazing feeling to have because I've never really experienced that the same way. But today on Facebook, I had posted that the only thing that has to change is everything, and it's been interesting. And maybe people are just tired of my posts on Facebook, or they don't think that they're worth interjecting on or responding to. But the reality is, like, when I got clean and I became a child of God, right? I had to change everything. I don't know about you, right? I don't allow people to do bad things and still be in my presence. And so, like, what that means was, like, I couldn't hang out with people who were getting loaded anymore. The one thing that had to change was everything, right? The way I thought about myself, the way I dressed. And some of these took longer than others, right? Because I didn't think there was anything wrong with what I was doing, right? Like, it was okay. It was acceptable behavior to still dress like I did when I was on the streets, right? To participate with females the way I did when I was on the streets. Like, and I had to come to realize that, like, in order for me to want to do better, I have to want better, and I have to put myself in better positions to get the better, And so I started hanging out with different people, and I started going to different places, and I started doing different things, and I went back to school and did things that I've never done before, right? Like study and read my books and talk to my teachers and do homework and write papers. I never did any of that stuff growing up, right? Growing up, it was all about fast money, fast cars, fast girls, fast things, right? Like, I wanted bigger, better, faster, constantly. And I thought I was a superstar athlete. So, like, I really didn't have to play by everybody else's rules. And there were people around me who would actually help that thought process be reality. And so, but today, like, I want to be a good man. And so I have to find myself doing things that put other people in better positions because I want to be in a better position. And one thing I teach the guys that I work with, if there's something that I want from you, I have to be willing to do it first, right? If I want your help, I have to be willing to help first. If I want your attention, I have to be willing to give you my attention. If I want your presence, right, not being distracted and other things, then I have to give you my presence first, right? And I don't do those with the expectation that I'm going to get them. I do them because that's what's right, right? And a couple of days ago, I talked about doing the right thing for the right reason, no matter what, right? No matter what, I have to do the right thing. And so, like, part of this whole process has been learning what that looks like, right? Learning what that means and how to put myself in better positions. And so, like, I surround myself with healthy people today, right? Like, I was telling somebody the other day, like, I don't have toxic relationships, like, at all. If you're toxic, I get rid of you. Like, I can't handle drama. I can't handle stupidity. I can't handle, there's a lot of things that I say today that I can't handle that I see a lot of other people tolerate or put up with, right? And part of it is because I don't want that in my life, so I don't allow it to be. You know what I mean? And so like I was, my inner circles, right? Like the people that I allow close to me is very small. I I have lots of friends. Don't get me wrong. There's lots of people who would call me their friends. But the people that I would call true friends, or that I do personal things with, like go on vacations or hang out with and have dinners with, is very, 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 very small, right? I just can't be around everybody, and not everybody's looking out for what's best for me, right? I still suffer from a disease that is selfish and self-centered, and a lot of the people that I hang out with suffer from that disease too. And if I'm not doing work to constantly work on changing that thought process, I'll slip back into it. And I know how much work I do and how often I slip back into that. So I know if you're not doing as much work as I am, then you're probably slipping back into that thought process even more or even deeper because you're not coming out of it, right? And so it says that a recovery is an active change in ideas and attitudes. And I have to constantly ask myself, what idea and what attitude am I actively trying to change right now? And that's what the whole process, the whole purpose of this is for, is to make me more aware of what am I actively working on, right? How am I actively trying to become better than I was yesterday, right? Because it says that we have learned that old ideas and old ways won't help us to stay clean or to live a better life, right? I don't know why any of you are here. I don't know why any of you have the relationship with God that you have. I don't know why any of you come to recovery. If you have, I don't know. I don't know anything about anybody, right? But what I do know about me is that I don't do what I do today to stay where I was yesterday. I don't, right? And I hope that the people around me feel the same way about themselves, that they're not doing what they do to stay where they were yesterday, because yesterday is gone, right? And I suffer from a disease that is progressive, incurable, and fatal, right? So if my disease that I suffer from is progressive and constantly growing and constantly working against me, then the things that I'm doing daily need to be growing as well. Like I have to realize that every day is a new day, right? I can't rely on yesterday's information, which is why I'm so grateful that I do the work of reading and journaling every day today, because I need to be doing work on me to get better, to flush out the old stuff. And right, and it says in here that one of the problems is that we found it easier to change our perception of reality than to change reality, right? I'll change the way I see something and make it acceptable rather than actually dealing with the situation itself and fixing it, right? Because I always want you to understand where I'm coming from. I want you to understand why I did what I did, right? As if like that's an excuse. And the reality is, no, if I'm going to do the right thing for the right reason, then I have to deal with the situation for what it really is, right? And part of that is being okay in my own skin, right? And loving me for once, right? Rather than always trying to get you to be happy and pleased with me and the things that I'm doing. Not everybody's gonna be okay with me. They're just not, right? I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and for the most part, I irritate and bother a lot of people, right? The words that I say and the things that I do rub people the wrong way, right? The other day I posted on Facebook, what 3 words would you use to describe me? And like 4 people said, unapologetically honest, right? Unapologetically. For a long time, I didn't care what you thought about me, right? I was here to save my life. I got clean to save my life, right? And so I would say whatever I had to say and do whatever I had to do in order to move forward, right? And I didn't care if I hurt your feelings when I told you the truth about what you were doing and how it made me feel. Like none of that. And in a lot of ways, I still don't care, right? Because at the end of the day, I have to lay with me at night, right? And this is like the one thing I try to teach the guys that I work with, right? At the end of the day, you have to be okay with you, right? I can't sell myself out and do what you want me to do because I want you happy with me. No. At the end of the day, I have to be happy with me. I have to be happy with me. I